President William Ruto says he is open to Kenya's anti-gang fighting mission in the country being converted to a UN peacekeeping operation. Ruto visited violence-plagued Haiti to assess the progress of the multinational security support mission, where Kenya is playing a leading role to curb rampant gang violence that has ushered years of political chaos and mass displacement.
On the suggestion to transit this into a fully UN peacekeeping mission, we have absolutely no problem if that is the direction the UN Security Council wants to take it.
The mandate of the multinational security support mission, first approved by the UN Security Council for 12 months, is set to expire at the start of October. Kenya was the first nation to send forces as part of a more significant effort by the UN to offer international support to Haiti, which has spiraled into conflict and political turmoil since the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse in 2021. For more perspective, VOA's Paul Ndiho spoke with Edgar Githua, an international security and diplomatic expert at Strathmore University in Nairobi, Kenya.
At least the Kenyan contingent currently of 400 soldiers, 400 policemen. So far, so good. They've done a commendable job, of course, with a bit of challenges. Reports indicate they have settled in well. Reports indicate they have been able to work hand in hand with the Haitian police force in reclaiming some of the areas from the gangs. We're talking about the airport. We're talking about one of the big hospitals within Port-au-Prince and some of the residential neighborhoods. And creating a humanitarian corridor that has allowed some Haitians who had run away to come back. So we can say gradually they have gone there. It's been a mixed bag. There have been some few complaints from Haitians who probably want them to move a bit faster. But I think the Kenyans and the Haitian police force are still not at the place where they feel they can move as fast as they want because of the logistics, the lack of resources, and they need, of course, better equipment. But so far, so good.
How significant is this trip for President William Ruto, considering the fact that he's faced a lot of challenges back home?
Yeah.
You have an uprising of young people taking onto the streets, but here we see Kenyans also trying to bring what a lot of people said was not possible, a semblance of peace in Haiti.
The diplomatic optics, number one, for Kenya are very good, and the dividend, Kenya will reap a very huge dividend when this mission eventually concludes in a successful manner. For President William Ruto, there are two things. Number one, he silences all the naysayers who told him, you are sending our boys to go and die. You're sending us into a bloodbath. So that in itself gives him that moral authority to tell them, I know what I was talking about. I told you our boys were ready for this. On the flip side, when the Kenyans, when we watch documentaries and we see Kenyans succeeding, it also gives us confidence and trust that we have a police force that is able to do a lot. And then, of course, on the flip side, the bigger question now for us becomes, then why can't they quell the banditry in our own country? Why can't they deal with our own internal security issues that have become a problem here and there? But having said that, Kenya gains diplomatically. It raises our stature. We are able to attract military aid. We are able to attract security aid. We are able to be a country that can be relied on, not only in the region, but in Africa. Post-conflict reconstruction, Paul, is usually a very long process. It is not a walk in the park. Today, things could be working out because of, we have the goodwill and the support of the Haitians. If after 4 or 5 months, the Haitians begin to become impatient, feeling like the Kenyans are really not bringing the change, the radical change we thought they would bring, when the ground starts shifting, the gangs start becoming stronger. We have to train the police force. At some point, we have to disarm those gangs. At some point, we have to convince Barbecue, Jimmy Cherizier and his gangs to lay down their weapons. That is a long, drawn process. And so you want to make hay while the sun is shining. You want to make as many gains as possible.
Edgar Githua is an international security and diplomatic expert at Strathmore University in Nairobi, Kenya.